This survival horror follow-up puts you through the ringer, as you attempt to rescue Sebastian Castellano's once presumed dead daughter. Surrounded by monsters, you have the chance to explore this unforgiving world, soaking up all the finer details that the Evil Within 2's graphics have to offer. The game does a great job of putting you in the shoes of Sebastian, where you must be constantly on the run from the terrifying monsters that lurk in the game's world. This science fiction horror game discusses the boundaries between human and non-human, taking you on a thought-provoking journey as you discover what it means to be human. The existential horror in Soma is some of the best that the genre has to offer, and the graphics only enhance this experience. The philosophy in Soma makes you question yourself, wondering what it would be like to unknowingly have your consciousness transferred to another body. Pair this with the part human, part metal monsters roaming the world, and the end result is one of the most chilling science fiction experiences in gaming to date. Layers of Fear 2 has a compelling narrative and a distinct visual style that leads to some genuine scares aboard the game's ever-changing ocean liner setting. The game's improved visual style sets it apart from its predecessor, while still maintaining the art direction and sound design that made the original game so unique. Bloober Team put great care into each of the game's haunting environments, and it shows in the set pieces that add to the theatrical theme and bring it, and the intricate storyline, to life. Plus, a performance from Candyman's Tony Todd is the cherry on top of this show-stopping game. Although not your typical horror game, Alan Wake definitely implements horror elements, and the 2021 remaster helped bring its specific brand of flashlight-lit frights to a new generation of players. Where the graphics truly shine is the game's stunning environments that are only enhanced by the remaster, allowing you to experience the town of Bright Falls in its full glory. The ambiance of this quaint town and the music direction take you on a mysterious journey as you discover what happened to Alan's wife and the mystery behind the manuscript that bears Alan's name but which he doesn't remember writing. Dead Space 2 balances horror and action together perfectly to create a frightening experience as you fight off hordes of necromorphs' terrifying, mutated monsters. Although it launched in 2011, the game's graphics have held up surprisingly well due to the game's unique art direction and monster design. The game captures the derelict environment of the Sprawl space station, now infested by the victims of the necromorph infection. The game also boasts some of the best designed monsters in horror game history, such as the Lurker and the Leapers, which are made all the more terrifying because of the game's graphical style. While the graphics of Little Nightmares aren't hyper-realistic, the stylized approach Tarsier took elevated the game above other similar titles. The game's graphics are important when creating the unnerving atmosphere that it's known for, marrying together disturbing images and an art style reminiscent of other horror-adjacent media, such as the stop-motion movie Coraline. The game does an excellent job of making its setting a spooky ocean liner called the Maw, and its horrifying residents feel alive as you sneak around the game's disturbing environments, each with their own unique tone. One moment where the graphics stand out is when Six sees the outside of the Maw for a brief moment, and the sun shines on the side of the enormous ship as the guests enter. The Last of Us Part 2 continues Ellie Williams' journey to survive the post-apocalyptic world and live with the consequences of Joel Miller's decision at the end of Part 1. The original PlayStation 3 game already boasted impressive graphics, and the sequel continued this trend. There's incredible attention to detail in the game's environments and character models, which is especially effective during emotive scenes, enhancing the cast's performances even further. Somehow, the PS5 version managed to take things up another level, giving the graphics an extra polish we didn't even know they needed. Inspired by the hallway horror of PT, Visage sees its main character, Dwayne Anderson, traversing a house and discovering more about the people who used to live there. Ghostly events will affect Dwayne's sanity, causing even more to occur when he loses his grip on reality. Visage's realistic graphics make the dimly lit house all the more creepy, with dark corridors around every corner. It gives you the same feeling as exploring your own house at night, fearing the unknown that could be lurking in the darkness. After receiving a letter about his grandfather's tragic death, Curtin travels to Mundan for his funeral. When Curtin arrives, he discovers something is awry concerning his grandfather's death and decides to investigate. Mundan's penciled aesthetic pairs perfectly with its folk horror atmosphere, creating a distinctly unique experience. In an interview with Rock Paper Shotgun, the game's director, Michelle Ziegler, said this hand-drawn style helped to transform the ordinary into dark, oppressive things, which in turn added to the sense of unease throughout as you explore the town. The 2019 remake of Resident Evil 2 updated the 1998 classic by transposing the action to a fully explorable 3D environment with plenty of quality-of-life improvements. Using the re-engine, Capcom captured what made the original game so special while using a completely different graphical style. It's incredible how Capcom stayed true to its initial vision, taking memorable locations from the original game and updating them with heightened attention to detail. The Raccoon City from Resident Evil 2 remake is still the city fans know and love, and it's nostalgic to visit it again over 20 years on, but now with even more detail to admire. Although it's sad to look back on Silent Hills and what could have been, PT, a small glimpse into Kojima's revival of the Silent Hill series, changed the horror genre, spawning many other hallway horror games. Using the realistic graphics of the Fox engine, PT, has you investigating the same hallway in a continuous loop, haunted by the restless spirit of a woman named Lisa, who was murdered by her husband. There were lots of interesting secrets to discover in this endless hallway, and the eraser head-like baby in the sink has remained one of the most striking images in horror game history. Ridley Scott's 1979 movie Alien did a fantastic job of transporting audiences to the far reaches of space, showing them the horrors of what lurks beyond our planet. Alien Isolation honored Scott's vision, using its incredible graphics to make you feel the same fear as Amanda Ripley, the daughter of Sigourney Weaver's iconic heroine. The game's graphics only enhance the space setting, making you truly feel that you're exploring Sevastopol Station. It also represents the game's antagonist, the Xenomorph, in a terrifying light, using its sound design and graphics to make you feel like you're being hunted by this creature. Since using the re-engine for Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Capcom has been able to use its graphics to capture photorealistic detail that highlights the intricate parts of its many environments and character designs. Nowhere is this more apparent than in Resident Evil Village, which uses its gorgeous graphics to transport you to a remote village filled with mutated monsters. The gothic architecture, snowy environments, and majestic castle are just a few things that are enhanced by the game's graphics, adding to its isolated atmosphere.